Hello, everyone. My name is Whitney, and I'm a second-year medical student at the University of California, Irvine School of Medicine. I'm presenting on behalf of my colleagues, Karishma, Mio, and Blaze Ann. And today we will present about the PALS program, empowering the next generation of healthcare providers through medical student-led mentorship for pediatric patients with developmental disorders. And this is for the ARP Research Day at Autism CARES 2023. Just some background information. Previous studies have shown that face-to-face interactions between medical students and patients with disabilities are important to improve understanding and attitudes of students towards patients with disabilities. The PALS program is a medical student-run organization created to foster long-term one-on-one relationships between healthcare students and students with developmental disabilities. Through the program, our mentor-mentee pairs can meet twice a month through program-wide group events and an individual hangout. Most medical school education does lack curricula for caring for pediatric patients with disabilities, so the PALS program aims to complement the medical education in this field while also assisting these children and their families. So our methods for this project included two post-program surveys, one for the parents, one for the mentors. And the goals of these surveys was to measure the effectiveness of PALS in helping us sort of reach our goals. And to sort of describe what these surveys are, the parent survey indicated whether PALS met the expectations of expanding children's support systems, improving social skills, introducing new environment, and enhancing emotional well-being, as well as logistical things like attendance of sessions, barriers towards participation, and other improvement suggestions. The mentor survey included expectations such as, did PALS teach you how to make environments more inclusive for people with developmental disabilities? Did PALS increase understanding of how to care for patients with developmental disabilities? And did PALS help expose you to a broader patient population? The survey was sent to 18 mentors and 18 parents, and our response was from 8 parents and 3 mentors. PALS was able to sort of include these inclusive practices through including mentees of all developmental disorders. We didn't target toward any specific developmental disorders. Our recruitment flyer did indicate that we wanted children ages 6 to 17 with developmental disorders, which allowed us to include patients that had autism, ADHD, sensory integration disorder, among other diagnoses. We also arranged for separate quieter workspaces for students who preferred this environment during main group events. And we included a variety of mentors, including from the medical, pharmacy, and nursing schools at UC Irvine, because it is important to include everyone who is going to work in the healthcare field in the future. The results of the survey showed majority of the mentors agreeing or strongly agreeing that we have reached our goals, including how to increase learning how to increase inclusivity, increasing understanding toward this patient population, and just general exposure toward this patient population. As for the parents, majority also agreed or strongly agreed that PALS met their expectations as well, including expanding support system, improving social skills, introducing new environments, and enhancing emotional well-being. If anything, it looks like there is some disagreement amongst expanding support systems, but we will try to improve on that in the future. Some of the barriers that people indicated toward participations were scheduling conflict would probably be the biggest. 100% of the mentors indicated that being a big barrier, and 62% of parents indicated that being a big barrier, as well as driving distance for the parents specifically, and accessibility of the medical student mentor and the PAL mentee ended up also being a great barrier toward participation. As far as general results, which was a free response question, most parents indicated that PALS was a great program. One parent indicated that they wished they were better informed of the purpose of the program, and another parent indicated that they wished mentors had more experience with a nonverbal child. So we concluded that PALS was successful in enhancing the lives of mentees and educating mentors about caring for patients. with developmental disorders. And I would say our main limitation for this project was sample size. We plan to continue expanding the program next year and implementing the suggestions we received. Our next steps, based on the feedback that was provided to us, we do want to increase exposure to this population through education, as well as improve some logistical work. So to increase exposure, we do want to include a community lecture series within PALS where community stakeholders can educate medical students and other healthcare students about patients with developmental disabilities, as well as advocate to medical education about education toward this patient population, because there isn't much of that. And the only way that students are getting any of that is through student-run programs like this one. As for logistical work, we do want to clearly indicate the program purpose prior to pairing families with the mentors, just in case they're not sure what they're getting into. And we also hope to location match mentors with their mentees so that the driving distance isn't as big of a barrier. These are some questions for feedback, but otherwise we do thank you for your time and listening to us, and special thanks to Dana Kim at AirP.